Professor. I first like to make a disclaimer stating that I understand this is a creative piece, so I do have an original poem that I came up with to not denounce plastics pollution, which is my case, and it is a very large and general case. I know that makes it very difficult to see how the overarching cases could collapse on each other. But I still do want to take a direct approach and to actually call out the companies and countries that do produce the most single-handed or the first one-time usage of plastics that end up going into waste immediately after the fact. So I would just state for companies that do produce the most plastic pollution, which would be companies such as, I know I found certain companies that are the top producers. There are probably a few more out there, definitely a few more out there, but it would go as Coca-Cola, Pepsi Company, ExxonMobil, Dow, and Sinpoec, Indorama Ventures, Saudi Aramco, PetroChina, LyondellBasell, Reliance Industries, Braskem, Alpec SA de CV, Borealis, Lotte Chemical, INEOS, Total, Jiangsu Heilun Petrochemical, Far Eastern New Century, Formosa Plastics Corporation, China Energy Investment Group, PTT, and China Resources. The top companies, the top countries that produce the most plastic pollution starts with China, starts with Indonesia, starts with the Philippines, starts with Vietnam, starts with Sri Lanka, starts with Egypt, starts with Thailand, starts with Malaysia, starts with Nigeria, starts with Bangladesh, starts with Brazil, starts with the United States. These are definitely the producers, and I did not take into consideration the consumers because we are all consumers of plastic. It's very difficult to think how we would all stop production of plastics. That's why I pretty much lean towards the production side, because as far as profit goes, I think there has to come to a point where responsibility is met for companies that do have a want to change the world around them. So I ask these questions: do these companies that produce the most plastic in the world, do they think they deserve a profit? What would make them stop using plastic completely as their material? Are they fully aware of what 10% of their plastic does to animals and oceans? Do they even care for anything else but a profit? Do they fully enrich the R&D program for other alternative materials? Do they think they still deserve a profit? What would it take to stop using plastic by 50%? Do they have deep pockets in the oil industry, as the companies shown above, or as I spoke previously? These companies are petrochemicals in majority wise, and if they continually to work together, I do believe there needs to be a third-party entity that steps in. Are they willing to step up for the sake of nature and all its beauty? Do they believe in God as these people are, considering how nature doesn't equate to God, but comes very close? What will happen projection-wise if they keep up their production? Are they stable enough as management and corporate leaders to even entertain the idea of stopping plastic completely. And to that, which company can change the world? Who are willing to make those dramatic changes? Who are your top advisors in packaging and logistics? As that's probably a majority for a start that I would think you would want to rehash out maybe paper. Um, I know trees can grow fast, but deforestation is another problem. I understand that. And on the surface level, without doing research properly, that becomes permanent. It becomes difficult. Um, where is the plastic as identifiable as not making it um, a solution as opposed to making it a problem? When was the last time you drank water, went to the beach, had sushi, needed salt, provided people with hope through animals? Do you, as corporate leaders, have a serious branch of sustainability telling you what the cost will be if you do not make a serious change? So, as a student to you, I just want to say these are my direct questions that I would have for a company for these companies. But in my creative mode, I actually went into saying that I would like to have a piece of poetry that makes me think about how I individually look at the cycle of what life is, and then how I go about, just living and what it will be from a humane perspective. So I would say, my beautiful ocean that brings calming peace to me, our beautiful ocean that cycles through a disturbing grief. I once knew the deep blue with dolphins, whales, and coral reefs. Even an ocean should be kept sacred with all its surface level and its widening gaze amongst the sun and the moon. The water's depths are inconceivable. Perhaps the toxic pollution is just a phase. Look at this cycle of humanity. No change, more doubly aware of animals with blank stares. They would speak to us if they knew we were the ones to bear this toxic rays. So much confusion they do not deserve. So much plastic we reserve. For what? Harmful us we prepare, and we state we share. Corporate us, convenience rampant. Tell us in a report we still care. Government, please stand up. Waste management is at our front door. Trillions of dollars aren't worth the destruction of our nature's core. The odds are insurmountable, and even placing blame becomes a chore. We must seek alternative materials. This is not a deranged lore. Thank you for your time, Professor. Have a good day.